Well, this is a good sign. As you can see, right here is clearly a good sign. And I started the movement about 2.5 years ago, and basically it started as a social experiment. It started with that sign. Everything started with that sign. It's an invention, it's a brand, it's a movement, it's a social tool, it's a lot of things. It means the same thing that that saying has always meant. Usually the context always changes when people use the saying, this is a good sign, but the meaning always means something progressive and, you know, kind of good is going on, you know, progress basically. So we just put it on a sign so that it could be more visual, and it started off as a social experiment in St. Augustine, Florida about 2.5 years ago. And it has changed and evolved into so many different things. It's really amazing. We've made some videos of our street teaming and you know, our outreach programs on the street, and basically put them on YouTube to see what would happen. And you know, we haven't had anything go viral yet, but we are also developing a reality television show platform, which is really going to be emotionally charged and riveting. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, it's all about celebrating society's underappreciated servants, such as relief workers, volunteers, people in society that are just working really hard to keep people afloat, and they may not always see the most appreciation, you know. So we're going to bring them gifts and service awards and say thank you. Basically the same way that we do to people on the street. When we come up to an individual on the street and they say, hey, that's a good sign, what's it all about? We say, it's all about you. Thank you for asking, thank you for breathing. You're doing a great job. So it's a really personal thing too.
What would you do if you had about $1,000 or maybe even $1 million?
I would help the poor people. That's right, the people that sleep in the street like me. My name is Moses, right? I'm not lying. It's a rotten country here. The only time they give you money is when Egypt and the rest of them people don't give you nothing. God bless you. Now this is the money. That lady gave me some money. Now I can go and get me something.
We basically feel that right now there's a lot of people protesting things, and we want to kind of change that whole thought process that says if you protest something, you know, you're going to really be effective at changing it. Well, we feel like if you show up for what you believe in, which we're giving people an avenue and a device to actually use this sign as a visual form of applause, to show up for what they believe in and draw that energy and attention to those things that are basically progressive and going well in their community, as opposed to the opposite, protesting and drawing attention to the other. So most of the reactions are really positive. There has been occasion where people question it a lot because they think there's an ulterior motivation that maybe, you know, I'm not sure what they're thinking, but I mean, I'm just here to help, so.
Yeah, a lot of people want to take pictures with the sign, and they kind of like ask questions like, what is this? Like, this is really funny and cute and like a good idea. A lot of people seem like really positive about it. And it's kind of like a free hugs thing. Like, it's always like a happy thing. People see it, they want to give you a hug, so. People
have drawn some parallels along those lines, but it's really more than what they've done. It's similar in the social aspect.
Well, we had just left Dayglow, and it was like 1 or so in the morning, and we called for a cab, and it was like really cold, and the guys we were with, like, they didn't have shirts on. We were all covered in paint. It was freezing. By
with the sign, they saw it, immediately recognized it, and made a mention. So I stopped and greeted them and gave them some signs, and
we all kind of laughed and thought it was like really cute. And my friend Natalie said, like, can I borrow your jacket? And we thought she's like joking, and she said it in a very joking way, and he's like, yeah, sure. And we were all a little taken aback by that, but he gave her his jacket, and we stopped and talked for a little bit, and he told us about his good sign movement, and we thought it was like a great idea, and we all wanted to like share it.
And they were like, we were really cold, and I was like, well, what are you doing? They're like, we're waiting for a ride, and you know, so I wanted to give them a ride. I did give them a ride in my truck.
We all kind of crammed in. It was a bit of a tight space, but yeah, I didn't feel unsafe for some reason. He just gave off like this really good vibe, because usually I would not get in the car with a stranger, because you know, that's really sketchy, but he seemed like really nice and really honest, so we kind of just took a chance and he took us like where we needed to go.
Well, a good sign means to me that it's going to be a good day and that something good is coming. And to me right now I'm thinking about that it's warm outside, the sun's shining, and it's going to be spring soon.
That's a funny part about this, is that it's an intellectual thing. It's meant to spark intellectual thought and reflection, but it really speaks directly to the heart. It's like a smiley face, but with a sentence instead. So.